When I come to your city, I'm a new score. Broke your high score as soon as I step through the door. Tryna stack my paper up like a bookstore. Money kissing each other like a rock and roll tour. When I come to your city, I'm a new score. Broke your high score as soon as I step through the door. Tryna stack my paper up like a bookstore. Money kissing each other like a rock and roll tour.
Hey, Tyler. What's up, Piet? How we be doing?
What's going on? Welcome to the New Score Podcast. My name is Pat. This is my co-host TYG. This is episode 32.
Rocking.
Tyler, I gotta say, I was just looking on my phone earlier, scrolling, and I kept getting these notifications about these ESPN Top 100, like where they were putting certain people. I kept getting notifications. I was like, oh man, this can't be good. Anytime ESPN does anything, it's never good because they operate on politics, inclusion. They don't want to offend anything or anybody. It's total bullshit anytime they make any kind of list. It's always awful. So I texted Tyler today and I said, Tyler, we got to make a list. We got to do our own top 10. Started thinking about it. And then I realized 10 is way too hard. So I made it 15.
Yeah.
So today
Still hard.
we are going to give you each of our top 15 athletes of the 2000s. If you're on YouTube right now, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Get at us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Mhm.
We also have an interview with professional MMA fighter John Doomsday Howard right around the corner. That'll be the episode dropping after this one. So again, don't forget to subscribe. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be a great interview going behind the mind, getting inside the mind of a dude that has literally fought in a UFC octagon. That's his life. That's his career. So absolutely stoked about that to get into that. But Tyler, let's get into this list. I'm going to let you start us off. I think you should give me your list. Give me and the people your list.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my list. And then perhaps we can do some debating. And if we get close, if we get kind of close after we make a few debates, maybe, just maybe, we'll have a consensus list of top 15 for the podcast. But we're not going to force it. If there's no hope, these things are really hard to make. That's what I noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, I started thinking about it. I put all these names out and I'm like, all right, how do I rank them? And I started to feel like, well, I was giving it to ESPN pretty bad. Their list was pretty bad, as I will explain. Some of the people that we'll get into that. But it's not easy, people. It is not easy. I'm definitely going to upset some people. You're definitely going to upset some people. But it is what it is. Without further ado, Tyler, your top 15 athletes of the 2000s.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, first of all, I just want to say these lists, as everybody knows, are 100% subjective, right? My list is not going to include any soccer players because I don't watch soccer and I don't know any better, right? On ESPN, they had some cricket players. You're not going to hear any of them on my list. Even to an extent, hockey, because as I was doing some research on hockey, I quickly noticed I didn't know any of the names on this person's top like 18. until they hit one. I finally knew the guy's name. But without further ado, number 15, Ricky Williams. 14, Jamarcus Russell. 13, Eddie Curry. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. On a real note, though, number 15 is I got Floyd Mayweather. This is going to be the only fighter on my list. I tried to do UFC. I realized that I couldn't. So I'm taking one fighter on this list. I'm putting him at 15. It's Floyd Mayweather. 14, I got my boy Dirk. He had to make it because the dude's 7 foot, elite shooter, underrated athletically, especially through the first, I'd say, 10 years of his career, for being that big. And he just got it done all in Dallas. He didn't go anywhere to make it happen. He just did it all at home. That's Dirk. 13, as previously mentioned, I only got one hockey player. That's Sid the Kid. That's controversial because I'm sure there's other hockey gurus who got about, I don't know, at least maybe 10 guys in front of Sidney, possibly. I was looking at this. I had no idea who most of them were.
I think the cat disagrees with you on something. I hear him in the background. He's pissed off. He might be the Dirk pick at 14. I think he might be pissed off.
No shot. No shot at Dirk. Maybe it's.
I think so. I don't think it likes that pick.
Dude, shut that thing up. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Picking back up. 12. I've got Alex Rodriguez at 12. I debated back and forth between him and Jeter, and in the end, sure, was Jeter great defensively? Was he clutch? Yes. But if we're talking about overall, who's the better athlete? Who's more? I'm not going to finish that sentence. A-Rod. A-Rod's my guy. I went him over Jeter. That's why Jeter's not going to be on my list. At 11.
Or what? He's a better quarterback. He was an elite high school quarterback. I'll add that to your defense. A-Rod.
Oh, A-Rod, thank you. Yeah.
Could have gone and played some college football. You could have played some quarterback. I don't know what you were about to say, but there's a little lifeline for you.
Thank you. I'll take it. 11 could be controversial. Don't care. Christian McCaffrey. I sat there. I looked at all the running backs. I'm thinking of the 2000s. Who is better than McCaffrey? I thought, okay, you got LT, maybe, sure, but McCaffrey's the dog. He's a dog. He belongs in there. 10. I got the Ed Reed, who somehow, some way, was number 99 on ESPN's list. And he is arguably the greatest free safety ever to play the game on one of the greatest defenses ever to play. And they had him at 99.
That's bad.
Disrespectful in my opinion. Ed Reed cracks the top 10 for me. Number 9, I've got arguably one of the greatest receivers of all time. Definitely, in my opinion, the greatest receiver in the 2000s. That's Randy Moss. Just alone, that season he had with Tom Brady in New England was incredible. Not to mention everything else he did, right?
Yeah, people are definitely going to be upset with yours because you're just completely disregarding the sports you don't watch. So a lot of the athletes that most people have in their top 10, you don't even recognize them because it's a sport you don't watch. But at least you were upfront with that in the beginning. But I'm telling you what, we're going to put these lists up and there's going to be some people coming for your head. I already know it, but
yeah,
continue on.
Yeah, I'm telling go talk to ESPN. Right.
Yeah, hey, it's probably not as bad as ESPN.
No.
Ed Reed at 99. Come on.
Right. Listen, I'm not going to have tennis, not going to have soccer, not going to have cricket. A lot of those sports where you could probably put I don't know, out of the top 150 players in, there's none in mine. So I hate to break it to you, but that's just what my list is compiled of. Not them. Number 8, D. Marcus Ware. You see him? You see him? I can't pull my fit. There it is. I can't believe Dallas didn't retire his jersey. They're idiots. They don't retire any jerseys, but they should have retired that one. He's one of the. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's one of the greatest pass rushers. I think that I've seen in the 2000s, and definitely one of the. Well, he actually did win a ring with Denver, right? Him and when he was with Peyton, yeah. So he got one, which very happy for him. I wish he did it in Dallas though. Number 7, Mr. Ray Lewis. Again, him and Ed Reed both disrespected on the top 100 list by ESPN. Played for one of the best defenses in the history of the NFL. Definitely the best of the 2000s. He's arguably the greatest linebacker of all time, Ray Lewis. Number 6. And if you don't have this guy, not just in baseball, in general, if you don't have this guy in your top 20, you're smoking too much ganja. Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds. Number 6 on my list. How many home runs did he hit, Pat, in his career?
A lot. A lot.
What did you say? A lot. The guy fucking hit a lot. He hit over 700. All right. Barry Bonds. Don't care if he took roids. Incredible. Number 5. And then before I'd say number 5, people could convince me to get this guy higher. Probably not lower, though. That is LeBron James. Take all the political bullshit that he's done in his career, especially over the last, 4 to 6 years, give or take. Focused on the sport itself, LeBron is 100% a top 5 athlete, especially of the 2000s. Number 4, I got the big boy, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 4 for me, everything he's done. I know it technically he started a little bit before 2000, but so did Dirk, and so did another guy on my list as well. But that's my number 4. That's Shaq. Number 3, again, this top 5 could be adjusted, but number 3 for me is the GOAT, Tom Brady. Now, again, he could be higher, probably not lower, but Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champion? 7, thank you. The greatest quarterback, in my opinion, ever played a game, and that's Tom Brady. Number 2, my personal favorite baseball player of all time is Mr. Albert Pujols. Can't get him lower on my list. You could maybe get me to bump him up to number 1. He ain't going down. And then number 1, obviously, who's left? Kobe Bryant, RIP. He's the number 1 greatest athlete of the 2000s. And that caps off my incredibly accurate, non-debatable list. All subjective.
Tyler, I love you. I'm going to be honest. That top 10 might be worse than ESPN's top 100 as a whole.
Yeah. It was so hard. Dude. I left some guys off this list where I'm just like, oh, dude, I don't know I don't even know how I'm going to make this top 10. I started plugging them in, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to go from here.
Dude, we can debate where I think you went wrong. But first, I'll go my top 15. Kind of explain through. Here I go. Pull up my stat tracker. Give me a little.
Oh, boy.
All right. My list, top 15. Number 15. I actually had Floyd, just like you.
Oh,
I mean, 53-0, I believe, is what his record is. 53-0, hasn't lost, and that's
undefeated.
dominant. By the way, this list is going to be extremely controversial. Not in the same ways yours is controversial, I think, just because
Mhm.
mine's going to be controversial because I'm seeing it. I'm kind of using a combination of accolades, but also athleticism. A big thing for me when I compare athletes
Mhm.
is how much better at your sport were you or your position than everybody else? Like, how much did you dominate your specific sport? And some guys have a greater impact than others. So for me, when I'm making these lists, a big thing for me is what kind of impact did you leave? What kind of impact did you have on the game itself? So that's going to be another thing that goes into it. And then obviously accolades and just pure athleticism itself has to be combined with that. And that's what makes it tough. That's what
Mhm.
makes it tough putting some people ahead of the others. But without further ado, as I said, number 15, I originally had Floyd as you did, undefeated. What I believe he held the title in 4 different divisions, 4 different classes. All these critiques that Floyd has, at the end of the day, his defense as a boxer is the greatest. And I'm
Oh
an
yeah.
Ali guy. I'm a Muhammad Ali guy. Like, that's my goat. But Floyd, just how he was able to box you and avoid you. It's his quickness, so twitchy. He is a very respectable 15. I liked how you started with that with Floyd.
Thank you.
But I took him out and I put John Bones Jones.
Hmm.
I put John Bones Jones because to me, of these last, 20 years or however, Floyd Mayweather's not the best pound for pound fighter. I know it's different sports, but John Jones is that dude. Is it controversial? Absolutely. I told you I was going to be controversial
Hmm.
with everything that John Jones has done to take away from what he could have done in the octagon, like the legacy he could be setting right now these last few years, but he keeps getting in trouble. He can't get himself straightened out. Just to tell you how dominant John Jones is, in the last 5 years, Tyler, he's fought 2 fights, and he's still considered the number 3 ranked in the world men's pound for pound rankings. He could come back at a moment's notice and just completely take over the sport, take over a card on moment's notice. That's who John Jones is. And McGregor could too, but he's not the fighter, he's not the athlete that John Jones is. I mean, we don't need to, go in that any further. It's common sense. Just the pure athleticism of John Jones. Like, guy's a freak. And it was certainly fun to watch him as long as he did. Hopefully he's not done, but that's my number 15. Number 14, the captain, Sidney Crosby. I may be a little biased, but I don't think I can be biased because to me, he is the best hockey player of this 21st century. People will say Ovechkin because of the goals, but we're talking about leadership. We're talking about being a captain, center, great passer, just a leader. He's won 3 cups, Tyler. Domination. He's still doing it at his age now. Like, look at the difference between him and Ovechkin now. It's just Crosby is that dude. And to me, he is number 14. I do have some stats for you guys. All right. Like I said, 3 Stanley Cups, 2 Conn Smythe trophies, 3 Ted Lindsay Awards, 2 Hart Memorial trophies, 2 Art Ross trophies, and then what he's done on Team Canada as well.
I just thought of somebody that I completely left off my list,
Uh-oh.
and I'm sure you'll
Need
say
to
his
make a
name.
correction.
No, I'm
All
sure
right,
I'll.
well, let's see. Let's see if I say him.
Yeah, but we'll cover it. But just so everybody knows, he should have been on there. I'm stupid.
We'll update it on a graphic, but it's locked in stone on the video. Number 13.
True.
And I'm glad you had him higher because I also had him higher, and then I dropped him down. Barry Bonds. I got the stats, Tyler, and you were talking about the home runs. Since 2000, he hit 317 home runs. That's 7 seasons, folks, including that record 73 in 2001. Couldn't pitch to him. They didn't want to pitch to him. He had over 1,100 walks in that time span. So he's either hitting a home run or getting walked. 4 consecutive MVPs, 2001 and 2004. 4 consecutive MVPs. 6-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, 2 batting titles. And again, that's in just the 21st century we're talking. He won a total of 7 MVPs. I know he took steroids. Tyler had him higher than I did. I know he took steroids, but we have never seen a hitter dominate like Barry Bonds did, and a lot of them. People want to forget a lot of them, including pitchers, were juicing up back then.
It was the thing to do.
It is what it is. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Because even what he did before that, he's worthy of it. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't need to do that. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. This is a petition from the New Score podcast to Cooperstown. Get your shit together, MLB. And put this dude in the Hall of Fame. And put Mark McGwire in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Put Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame.
Cooperstown. I'm upstate. You're about 40 minutes away. I can find you. I'll pick it. I'll be picketing out there.
All right. Moving on to number 12. And this is probably the guy that you forgot about. Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now?
Can't see it.
Number 12.
Oh, no.
Legends live forever.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Aaron Donald.
Mm.
Honestly, could be higher. If I really wanted to be biased right now, he could be higher than 12. To me, he is the best defensive player of our generation. Tyler, I think, had 3 defensive players on his list and didn't even have Aaron Donald on his. So I'm pretty upset about that. Aaron Donald, he's only the 3rd player in NFL history to be named defensive player 3 separate times. Retired with 111 sacks. Not to mention he was getting double team, triple team, quadruple team sometimes. Every single play when the other team is scheming up their game plan in the offensive meeting rooms all week. You just got 99 with a circle on it because you're not doing shit unless you block that guy. So their entire scheme went into him. The impact that he had on the game is remarkable. The production that we got from the guys around us and our secondary because of his impact, his leadership, just the way he is so motivating and inspiring, the way he goes to work. That dude grinds day in, day out. And I mean, look at him. He's a freak, dude. You ever seen Aaron Donald with a shirt off? No homo. That dude is a freak, bro. And he was playing interior defensive line. They couldn't block him. He was remarkable. Super Bowl champion, obviously. We don't win that Super Bowl without him. He just completely Bengals had that game. We've gone over that game on an episode with Justin when we had him on. And the Bengals had all the momentum in that game. And Aaron Donald said, no, this is my shit. And he completely took over. Ended the game, getting pressure to Burrow. And then that NFC title game, he forced the game-ending pick when he got to Jimmy G. So Like I said, the impact. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So as soon as he got in the league, he was making an impact. 8-time first team All-Pro and 10-time Pro Bowler. And then obviously the All-Decade team. Number 11. Another guy you forgot. Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Steph Curry. Let's talk about Steph Curry. Completely transforming the game of basketball. That's part of the reason he makes this list. What is basketball now? You're not in the league unless you can shoot. And that's because of Steph Curry. Oh my goodness, bro. I remember watching and you getting so mad watching him, and how easy he makes it throwing it up from half court, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when Steph Curry is like hot, you see like the way that he shoots, and you're like, there's no way that's going in too. Oh my God, it did.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets unconscious, like greatest 3-point shooter of all time. Nobody's gonna ever break that record. Like that's like the Wayne Gretzky record, where it's gonna be, or like Joe DiMaggio's hit streak record. Like that's what Steph Curry's 3 points record is. I don't think it's gonna be touched. 4-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA MVP with the NBA Finals MVP to boot. And as I said, completely transformed the game of basketball. Number 10, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is going to go down as arguably the greatest athlete of all time. We did this list in another 5 years, he might be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy that he's only played 7 years in the NFL. And he's top 10 of my list for greatest athletes of the 21st century. In those 7 years, he's already thrown for 28,500 yards, 219 touchdowns. He's played in 6 Pro Bowls. The only year he didn't make a Pro Bowl was when Alex Smith was there. He didn't start. Offensive Player of the Year, 2 MVPs, 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. He's been to the Super Bowl. He lost to the Bucks. It's been pure domination. Gets to the AFC title game like nobody's business. It's like Brady all over again, where every year you could just expect the Chiefs to be there. And that's why he cracks the top 10. We got a lot more Patrick Mahomes to talk about. Number 9, and I appreciate you putting Kobe 1 on your list. That's my guy. We all know that. But he makes number 9 for me. I mean, what do I have to say about Kobe Bryant? 5-time NBA champion, 18-time NBA All-Star, 2008 NBA League MVP. Should have got another one that they gave to Steve Nash instead. 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and 11-time NBA first team. Kobe Bean, number 9. Number 8 is, for all you tennis people that might watch this podcast, there's probably not any, so I don't think I'm offending anybody at all. Number 8, I went back and forth because I don't really know anything about tennis other than I know Serena Williams, I know Roger Federer, I know Nadal, and I know Djokovic. Like those are the elite ones to choose from. And I'm just going to let the tennis people handle that. So number 8, Tyler, is insert tennis goat here. And then whoever, it could be any of them. That's my number 8.
Heard.
Number 7, LeBron James. You talked about LeBron. Would you have him 5?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about LeBron. 6-time all defensive team. I can't be biased here. I'm not a huge LeBron guy. We all know that. But you got to give it to him. And obviously, I'm probably going to get killed for what do I have him? 7. Yeah, I got him 7. So I might get cooked for that. But going through it, 20-time All NBA, 3-time MVP, 4 NBA Finals, 4 NBA Finals MVPs, and 2 Olympic gold medals as well. 20-time NBA All-Star. Like I said, I might get cooked for not putting him top 5, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 for me. Another person you forgot, but it was something you made it clear up front that you weren't going to put anything you didn't watch. Got to have Usain Bolt. Got to have Usain Bolt, number 6. I'm going to give you some stats about Bolt, Tyler, that'll blow you away. And I might get you to put him on your list. He is an 8-time Olympic gold medalist, world record holder in the 100-meter, 200-meter, and 4x100-meter relay. This dude was an absolute freak. Couldn't miss. The only person in my life that I sat down and really paid attention to when they were running, because it was actually entertaining. This dude, when he was, on the top of that mountain, untouchable. I don't know if you remember, there was rumors about the Cowboys potentially wanted to sign him. Typical Jerry Jones thing, making the media.
Stupid.
Like that dude on a football field, who knows? But number 5, Lionel Messi, the GOAT of soccer. I don't watch a ton of soccer, but I know enough that Messi needs to crack the top 5 of any list involving top athletes as a whole when we're including everything. During his 17-year tenure with FC Barcelona, his team won the league title 10 times and the UEFA Champions League 4 times. He scored 672 goals in 778 games. Unbelievable. He's been multiple times the best ranked soccer player in the world. He scored a total of 838 goals for club and country. And then to put his stamp over the top, 2022, they win the World Cup. So Messi cracks the top 5 for me. Number 4, another athlete I just have to pay my respect to, Michael Phelps. And arguably Michael Phelps is the greatest athlete. I'm going to put him number 4 just because we don't address too many Olympic sports outside of the obvious ones that we watch. But Tyler, 28 medals he won, including 23 golds. He's the most decorated Olympian that we've ever seen. Just what he did. I remember as a kid watching him in 2008, and then it went 2012 as well. How I talked about Bolt, paying attention to him running. This is the only time I paid attention to swimming. It was when Michael Phelps was doing his thing.
Sorry, swimmers.
Just absurd what he did. Number 3 is where I get controversial, but I don't care. We're talking about greatest athletes of the 21st century. And we're talking about greatest athletes. Shohei Ohtani. I think ESPN put him in the 60s, Tyler. He was something in the 60s on their list. He is number 3 for me. We have never we've heard about the great myths and stories, the fairy tales of Babe Ruth's career and how he used to hit the ball 800 feet and he called his shot and he did this and he did that. They're all just stories to us though, right? But we are fortunate enough to get to see that in real time against a league that is so competitive that to be a reliever in a bullpen on one of these major league teams, you got to have stuff. Like the abilities that these guys have in the league now. I mean, we see what some of these hitters are doing. Some of the freak shows that are in baseball now. And for Ohtani to be as dominant as he is hitting, to be that good where he could win an MVP as a hitter, but he can also win you games on the mound. And he's a great pitcher. I know he's not pitching this year because of his injury, but even without that, he makes the All-Star game. Obviously, he's going to make the All-Star game for what he does at the plate. His numbers right now are absurd on the year.
Run bomb.
And we know when he comes back and he pitches, he's a Cy Young candidate as well. And that's why he's making the money he is with the Dodgers, or not making it now, but the contract itself.
Yeah, what's he making? $100 this year?
Bro, like he has to be. To me, we're talking about pure athlete. This dude has to be. He's that good of a pitcher. He's that good of a hitter in this generation of baseball where everything is everyone's more talented than they were back then. Babe Ruth was playing. And they didn't have these second jobs. He's doing it right now. And that's absurd. He makes 3 for me. Number 2, Tiger.
That's the one.
You're gonna have to update it. You're gonna have to update your list. We're gonna have to talk about who you slide out, but just going through it. I mean, obviously Tiger started in the 90s, but what he did in just the 2000s puts him. He's top 3. I don't care. Like, I don't even know what ESPN. I think ESPN had him like 8, and that was one of the things that rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, total he's won 15 majors. He has a total of 82 wins on tour. And when Tiger was on back then, when we were real young, like it was Tiger versus the field. It was you either bet Tiger to win or you bet the field, and that was it. Like that's how good he was. And we talk about how many golfers show up to an event and he's just that dominant that you can expect him. It's unheard of. Not to mention, he makes this list where he makes number 2 for me just because of his impact itself on golf and what he's done. He made golf cool. I don't care. Like people weren't watching golf a ton before Tiger Woods. Completely transformed the game. So yeah, he's number 2 for me. And then number 1, how dare you put Tom Brady anywhere besides number 1 on any list for what this dude's accomplished.
I know it.
As you said, 7 Super Bowls. 7. You even asked me, and I said 7, and you still kept him at number 3. 7 Super Bowls for Tom Brady. He was 5 times an MVP. And, bro, like, Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's the greatest athlete that we've seen. And it's not even close. The way he dominated the game. Talk about, like, he leaves New England and goes to Tampa in year 1, like a dysfunctional Tampa organization, turns them around and they win the Super Bowl. Like, what? That's Tom Brady, bro. And you see what happened in New England after he left? Shame on you. Tom Brady, number 1 greatest athlete of the 21st century. And it's not even close. Not even close.
That's close. But yeah, well, that's a great list, by the way. I just want to say, great list. Great list. My list doesn't compare. It just doesn't. And I admit that up front. My list could be a lot better. But if I had to take someone out, it probably would be Dirk. Love him. That's my guy. But if I'm sliding Tiger in there, Tiger's top 5.
You would leave Christian McCaffrey in there?
I really do. I really do. I know McCaffrey doesn't have the accolades, right? Like he doesn't have Super Bowl yet. He doesn't have all that. But like when I'm just thinking of athletes and just watching this dude on the field and what McCaffrey can do, at the running back position, to me, is just like it's unmatched. Any team I know he was with the Panthers for a long time, and they were good when he was there, but he didn't have anything around him. I don't know. I just feel like if you take McCaffrey and you put him in a good position like the 49ers, the dude's MVP caliber at the running back position, which we know it's almost as hard to win an MVP at running back as it is as a defensive player in the NFL. So I think, I don't know. It's debatable though, right? Like, yeah, McCaffrey could be outside people's top 30 or he could be in people's top 15, But for me, yeah, go ahead.
I will recommend something that you replace D Ware with Aaron Donald on your list.
Yes, no. See, I fucked up. I can't believe I forgot about Aaron Donald. As soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh my god, how did I forget about Aaron Donald?" He would be.
That's what you said, 7.
Yeah. I think D Ware was like 7 or 8 for me. And again, those top like from 6 through 15, they could all interchange on my list. I just was plugging them in. I'm like, God, I don't know how I'm going to pick who's 7th and who's 6th and who's 9th.
Not easy.
It's not, but yeah, Aaron Donald would definitely be top 8 guaranteed. He would, yes, I would put him ahead of D Ware. I would put Tiger in the top 5. I can't believe you left Pujols off the list, dude. Out of all the people, you left Albert.
You had him what, 2?
Yeah, I'm 2 for me. But Shaquille O'Neal too. You didn't have him in there, but it's all right. You were fair though, right?
I'm glad we got Shaq.
Because
we got Shaq on there.
You at least were more, across the board, right? Like you included tennis.
Yeah.
You included.
I'm just gonna have insert tennis player here.
Yeah, right. Like, and you included Olympic gold medalists like Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, which I didn't do. You got a soccer player in there, which I didn't do. So, your list is definitely, it's, I don't know why the fuck I can't think of the word. But
Official.
Either way, yeah, you can go with official. But yeah, no, I do like your list a lot. I mean, nothing really to debate it. And again, a lot of this shit's subjective too. Like, I just don't know how someone can find the time to give it their all to every single one of these sports and then just be like, yeah, running is more than shooting. Like Steph Curry, for example, that might be the one guy from your list that I would feel comfortable leaving outside of my top 15. He's definitely the greatest shooter of all time, hands down. And he did change the game, but there's other guys that I would just take ahead of him. Which, what's crazy? I saw some people's lists, and this is changing the subject. I pivoted real quick off of Curry, but I seen some lists and in baseball, and they had Miggy too, which I mean, Miguel Cabrera is one of the greatest.
He's
but
worthy.
they had him at 2, Ichiro at 3, Jeter at 4, and then A-Rod at 5. And in my opinion, I'm like, I would put A-Rod 2. For me personally, like I love Ichiro.
A-Rod guy.
Love Ichiro. See, that's the thing. I've never been a big A-Rod guy because that was always the debate when we were growing up. It was Pujols or A-Rod, who's better? And we're always like, hands down, it's Pujols. But A-Rod was great.
Like
he was
2007,
great.
2008, yeah.
And what is it about Derek Jeter that he's like the dude he didn't have a lot of power. He had good contact. It wasn't like he was a 330 hitter every year. He was great defensively. He just had his leadership.
Leadership and everything intangible about an athlete that can make them great. Derek Jeter had. He wasn't the most talented dude, but every single intangible that you could have to make you the best version that you could be, Derek Jeter had that.
Right. See, and I respect that, and I get why he is regarded one of the better players, especially of the
He's a
21st
winner.
century. He's a winner, right? But it's like you look at those, like just those teams. I don't know. I just feel like there's better ball players than him that are a lot further down the list. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. They had Pedro Martinez down at 17. Ahead of him, they had Roy Halladay at 10 ahead of Pedro. I was like, love Roy Halladay. You know, he's decorated career too, but like over Pedro might be the best. Randy Johnson, you know, Roy Halladay was ahead of Randy Johnson. They didn't even have Roger Clemens in the top 20. I was like, who the fuck is making this list? Vlad.
Yeah, they're hating. They just hate steroids.
Yeah, they had Todd. I mean, I think Todd Helton was great. They had Todd Helton like top 15 over a lot of really good names. So I was just like, damn, I don't know about this one. But no, again, though, I'll touch on my list. It was
You tried.
I tried. I tried.
Well, Tyler, I think we got some NCAA to be getting on.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
I think we got a dynasty to be starting. So it was great making these lists, but let's wrap it up at that. If you are on YouTube right now, don't forget to like and subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Remember, we got our interview with John Doomsday Howard right around the corner. So be on the lookout for that. We will see you next time.
Goodbye. Peace.
When I come to your city, I'm a new score. Broke your high score soon as I step through the door. Tryna stack my paper up like a bookstore. Money kissing each other like a rock and roll tour. When I come to your city, I'm a new score. Broke your high score soon as I step through the door. Tryna stack my paper up like a bookstore.